What is the most valuable skill that you could possibly own? I mean, think about how diverse this world is. What would be the most valuable skill that you could go after? Years ago, I was inspired by Tony Robbins, who claimed that he could spend a moment with you, a matter of minutes. And it didn't matter what plagued you. It didn't matter how much emotional trauma or perceived trauma there was. It doesn't matter how badly you've limited yourself, whether it was stuttering or epically failing over and over again in relationships or being overweight or having a phobia, a fear of snakes. He claimed that literally spending a few minutes with him, he could change that. And I thought to myself, that would be the most valuable skill on the planet. And I've dedicated the last 10 years of my life to acquiring that skill. And frankly, I've paid millions of dollars for it. And people come from all over the world to now meet with me because they want to be rid and free of the garbage and the chaos that we just accumulate and pick up through life. Today, I'm going to share with you the skill of breakthrough. I'm going to share with you how I got it. I'm going to share with you how I do it. And then I'm going to give it to you for free.
'Cause we're gonna be legends. What we're doing here ain't just scary. It's about to be legendary.
So let's get real with each other, like face to face. I mean, the reality is we want stuff in life. We look at people that are more successful and we ask, how can I be more successful? We look at some people where it's like, wow, they seem to have all this money, but they don't have to work that hard. How do I work less hard and have more money? We look at someone else that has that beautiful, sexy body and we say, why am I fat or overweight, or why do I struggle with the food that I put in my mouth? We look at people and we get envious and we get jealous, or we wish and we wonder. And when we don't have the things that we think we deserve or the things that we want to create, or we just don't know how to get there, it creates a natural byproduct of being sad or frustrated. I mean, dude, get real with me right now. What are some of the things in life that you want that you haven't been getting? What are the things that you've tried pursuing and haven't been able to happen? What are the things that you've actually tried to instill and put habits in place for? Maybe you've even gotten coaches, and yet you haven't made the millions, you haven't created the body, you haven't created the relationships. Bottom line is, you might have some things, but if you're honest with yourself, you don't have all things. So what would it take for you to have it all? For me, I think it comes down to one core key: change. How do we change ourselves and beast ourselves in the people that we want to become? Because reality is that we're terrified of change. We're scared of change. Think about that. From childhood, things came unwantedly into your life and imposed themselves on you and made you do things that you didn't want. It could have been a parent that wanted better grades. It could have been someone, a neighbor that came by and molested you. I mean, the reality is that life happens to us and we do not see that it is happening for us. So we need to first start with this. We need to develop a love affair with change. The reality is that anything that you want and anything you desire that you don't have, it's not going to be found inside your current comfort zone. The place where you're going to find it is out there. And the question is, how do you get yourself out there? We don't like change. It's deeply uncomfortable. And for you to develop a love affair with change, you need a system. You need a way. I'm going to share it with you today. When I say that I've spent millions of dollars, let me clarify that. Years ago, I used to be one of the most inauthentic human beings. I was a people pleaser. And I didn't know that. I wanted everyone to like me, and I hated it when people didn't like me. And everyone else could kind of see that about me, but I couldn't see it about myself. I didn't realize how much suffering it created. Because if you can relate to being a people pleaser, it really just means that you're a chameleon and a liar. It means that we dress ourselves up different, metaphorically speaking, to be pleasing to other people, to get other people to like us. And I kept producing body bags in my life. All these people that I wanted to like me and couldn't, I'd see them as body bags leaving out of my life. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And at first I thought it was them. It was your fault. It's your fault. There's like deep victimhood. Until I woke up one day and realized, listen, I'm the common denominator here. Maybe I'm the problem. And it took a mentor to come into my world to help me realize that. And when I discovered that this inauthenticity, which I didn't know or understand, was creating all this perceived suffering in my world, I got rid of it. I'm going to share with you in a moment how I got rid of it. But it led from one master coach to another master coach to another mentor to another coach to another mentor. Men and women massively inspired, deep healers. And they were all leveraging a very similar technology that today I call breakthrough, but they're all doing it different, and most of them as gurus. They couldn't really show you how they were doing what they did because it was so innate to them. It was something that they had cultivated and developed. I want to know what that skill is. I want to know how to do it. I want to know how to duplicate it, and I want to know how to give it to other people. So I actually wrote a book here. You can click the link later in the description below. And this book is called Limitless. It's about having it all. And I'm happy to give you a free copy of this. It documents scientifically exactly how I do my breakthrough technique. Now, let's jump into it. Let me actually impart this gift to you. And then that book, it's yours. You can have it. Just find it in the link below. Because when I say this is the most valuable skill, I found myself on a private jet being flown out to learn about $1 billion opportunity. And I didn't have to pay for any of that. It's because of that skill. I had another woman that came into my world that says, I have a terminal illness and I'm dying and I don't want to die. And that's what the doctor said. And I did a breakthrough and now her terminal illness is gone. Friends, I've been able to see the wildest things. People lose 100 pounds. This that I'm about to share with you, to me, it is the most valuable skill. And you can own it because if you do, you can own your own transformation. So check it out. This thing that I call breakthrough, okay? Breakthrough means that you're stuck, but you don't know it. In fact, you want to know why more people aren't watching this video and actually getting excited about changing their life? It's because we don't know what we don't know. Worse, we don't even know that we don't know. So we're suffering, but we don't even get it. We think that it has to be this way. We think that it's normal and that everyone has to deal with that, and yet no one's relatable to my problems. It's all bullcrap. We're all suffering because of something we have inside of us called a limiting belief. Now, your limiting beliefs are things that you picked up from childhood. Now, listen, I want you to zone in and take notes on this stuff because I'm going to go real fast. This is a short video, and I want to give you as much as I possibly can. Every time in childhood you had an experience that you didn't like, you formed a belief about it. And because of the intensity of the emotion, it formed itself into something hardcore real to you. So for example, you could have been dancing and tripped on stage in the recital and mommy and daddy saw you and you social referenced and decided, I'm bad at dancing. But a child is also capable of saying, I'm dumb or I'm stupid or I'm not good enough or I'll never be fast enough or I'm too fat or nobody likes me or I'm ugly. Kids create the most erroneous decisions out of this emotional trauma because kids are emotionally unintelligent. I mean, massively emotionally unintelligent. They become these amazing observers, but very, very horrible interpreters. So they can interpret anything negative, tie an idea to it, and form a limiting belief. Most of you watching this, you're still carrying those same beliefs around with you as an adult and acting on the same things that disturbed you as a child. So life keeps changing, circumstance change, jobs change, relationship change. And so you see things appearing to change, but in the end, your results are the same. Same number of body bags, same type of happiness or sadness. And it only gets worse with time. It only expands because the same belief sticks with us. So here's what you got to do. You got to get leverage over it. By number one, you got to uncover the blind spot and you got to see there is a limiting belief. And you can do that with a question. Here's the question that I want you to write down. What is the number one limiting belief getting in my way right now? That's the most important question I want you to ask every single day in a morning ritual. I want you to get yourself nice and grounded, get yourself nice and calm, take a deep breath in, and then just ask, what is the number one belief in my way right now? And something's going to come up if you're listening. In fact, for the next couple thousand days, something's going to keep coming up because you have about 5,000 limiting beliefs that are governing your perception and telling you where you do and don't have opportunities. If you want to be happier, if you want to be wealthier, if you want to have that greater body, if you want to have the relationships of your dreams, you're going to have to exchange your limiting beliefs for empowering ones. 3 steps goes like this. Number one, ask the question. Number one limiting belief getting in my way. Number two, when it comes up, and you can do this right now, is I want you to ask, is it serving me? Because there's a time when you probably thought it did. The idea made sense to a child. But as an adult, it probably doesn't make any sense anymore. So 3rd grade, Miss Bohannon gives me my spelling score, and I got like 40% right. I looked up at her, and I just saw disapproval on her face, and I made a decision. I'm stupid. Ever since then, I was challenging my intelligence. Even though I'm a smart guy, I was telling myself I was dumb, I was stupid, I wasn't good enough, I'm not. And then I'd hang out with the smartest people to find evidence that everyone's so much smarter than me. And Got to ask, is this idea serving you to believe that my intelligence is low? Is your limiting belief serving you? And once you shine light on it and figure out what it is, and then ask that question, it's like, no, it actually doesn't. In fact, go deeper, get leverage on it. How's this idea hurting you? How's it showing up in your bank account? Like, how's it impacting the money flow? And how's it impacting your relationships, like your core key relationships, you know, the people that you hang out with that you really like or love? How does it impact you? Like when you're around them and you're possessed with your limiting belief, does it make you more of someone they want to be around or less? Probably less. Get leverage. How's it impacting your health? How's it impacting your body? How's it impacting your life? And if it's impacting your life in any kind of negative way, it's got to go. Now, if it's not serving and you're ready to get rid of it, the third step is you got to replace it. If your limiting belief was, I'm not smart enough, then you got to replace it with something worth believing in. For example, I am smart enough. In fact, I'm freaking brilliant. I'm genius. Now, whatever you replace it with, if it's positive and powerful, at first your mind's gonna be like, no, dude, that doesn't make any sense. That's crazy. I get it. You've been practicing the wrong thing for such a long time that it feels right. When you start practicing the right thing, at first it's gonna feel wrong, which means that we've got to anchor this in, and it's not gonna actually replace and lodge in the brain and actually take 21 days, 3 weeks to form a new neural network and give you this belief for life, unless you can charge it emotionally. You've got to charge it with some kind of positive emotion. And you know how you do that? You do that by actually taking the new belief and you put some energy behind it. So for example, I am smart. I am smart. I am smart. You've got to get that in your body. You've got to claim that. You've got to bring it into your being. You got to bring it into your soul. And you do that by adding this emotion. So you could shift your language or focus and start thinking about super amazing happy memory, link the idea to it. You could simply use your physiology. You could get up. You could start moving around. You could shout it out. I get it. People are like, you're going to look crazy. Yes, you totally are. But that's not the point. The point is that this is only lodged, your limiting belief is only lodged in your being because you had a negative experience and you tied it to an idea that limits you. You got to do the exact same technique. You've got to create an empowering experience and lodge that same idea. Now, friends, if you do these 3 steps and every day for 21 days, rehearse your new empowering belief, you're going to find that the brain hates cognitive dissonance. It's like a boxing match and it can't stand it because it's balancing the limiting belief you've been supporting for decades. And now you've introduced this new idea that's going to war with it. Which one will win? The one that you consciously practice the most. Which means this new idea, it's something that you've got to focus on, obsess on, write down, read it. When you read it, practice it with emotion, practice it with excitement, practice it with joy, practice it with peace, practice it with sacred, practice it with energy that you love and appreciate. Here's what will happen. This is going to go away. This is going to come into your new perception. And then all of a sudden, new doors and new people, new circumstances, and new opportunity come into your world. Now, friends, I teach a 4-day course on this, and I'm trying to cram it into a tiny video, which is why I decided for the first time ever, I'm taking my book, Limitless, and I'm making it available to you as a gift from me for free. And when you get it in the mail, read it. It'll take you into a 9-step process instead of a 3-step process. It'll give you a how-to guide of how to do it. And it also contains how to have it all, how to actually leverage this technique to become a multimillionaire, how to give back powerfully to charities and philanthropies. It's going to teach you how to lose the weight or become stronger in body and frame, change your physiology. It's going to help you understand how to create the relationships of your life, 10 out of 10, amazing. And I get it. The skeptic's like, Kris, you can't have it all. Well, you know what? I get that that's a message for the masses. But at some point you realize that you're not immortal. This earth life is going to end eventually, which means you've got this time to make of it whatever is going to be best. And if you want, you can create the life of your dreams, or if you want, you can destroy. You can do the opposite. In fact, you can create whatever you want. This technique is used to create peace. This technique is used to create war, and you get to decide what you want. I simply promised in this video that I would give you and lead you on to the best technique, the most valuable technique, the most important one out of all the skills that I've mastered. I've mastered 12 different skills, and that's why I have all this wealth. Some of you are here because of the real estate, the wealth, and the finance, and the business skills. But behind it all, make no mistake, this skill, I want this for you. Because if you had it the way I have it, everything would change. Everything would be different. Sorrow, sadness, madness, anger, it all gets replaced. And all of a sudden, you don't have to deal with all the negative emotions of life. You actually realize that you're in control of your emotions and that your emotions get to be what you choose and what you want. You become emotionally fit, you become boss, and you start creating the world of your dreams. I think that's why God put us on this planet. I think that's why he gave us our agency. I think God gave us this opportunity to see what we would do with it. What I'm sharing with you today, near and dear close to my heart, out of all the books that I've written, this is the most valuable and most important work, and I wrote it for my kids because I want my posterity to know that they can have it all and that they can have the life of their dreams. And I believe that for you as well. So my friend, click the link below. I'm happy to send you a free copy of this book, free of charge, cover the shipping. I'll get that sent out to you. And I already know that if you read it, it's gonna change your life. Today's video is dedicated to you, my friend. Make sure that you do subscribe, and we will see you on tomorrow's video.